Hi chillink, I liked your first video when you shared the email for listener stories. I knew I had to finally write it down. It's been over a decade, but I still have the nightmares. Please keep my name and the location anonymous. My friends and I, we don't talk about it anymore. Back when we were 15, summer felt endless and the woods behind our neighborhood were our kingdom. Me, Jake, and Leo, we'd build forts pretending to be commandos, the usual stuff. But there was always one legend that hung over those woods: the Whispering Cave. The story was that deep in the oldest part of the forest, there was a cave that wasn't on any map. Old timers said people who went in didn't come out the same. Some said they heard voices calling their names from inside, voices that sounded like loved ones. We thought it was the coolest thing ever. The summer we turned 15, we decided it was our mission to find it. We packed our backpacks with flashlight, batteries, a knife, granola bars, and Leo even borrowed his dad's old camcorder. It was laying around. It took us 3 whole days for searching. We used to search a whole day and come back home. But on the third day, we were about to give up when we found it. It wasn't some grand opening, it was a slit in a moss covered rock face, almost hidden in the thick ferns. It didn't have that circular doorway of a cave, it was more like a triangulish one. The air that drifted out was cold and smelled of wet stones and something else as well, sweet like rotting flowers. Before we went in, I snapped a quick picture with my old flip flop phone. The quality was terrible, but I wanted proof we found it. I have attached it in this email. You can barely make out the opening. Just a dark gap in the rocks that looks wrong, like it's swallowing the light. So I'll show the picture that he sent me in the email. It's like a trianglish one. I don't know, the quality looks better. To be fact, it's not, it doesn't look like that old, but okay, let's move forward. Jake, always the brave one, went first. We had to squeeze through single file. Inside, it opened up into a chamber bigger than our classroom. Our flashlight beams cut through the darkness, revealing strange, smooth walls that didn't look natural. And the silence, it was a thick, heavy silence that seemed to swallow the sound of our breathing. That's when Leo pointed the camcorder. Its little red recording light was the only comfort. He started saying, "Whispering Cave Expedition Day 1." Trying to sound brave, his voice echoed back to us in a distorted, delayed whisper. We all froze. It was just an echo. It had to be. We shrugged it off and we went forward. As we went deeper, the tunnel sloped down. That's when we started to see the markings, not cave painting, but things carved into the soft stone. Names, dates, some were centuries old, like Thomas W. 1882, with the message "Find me." The other one said, "It's so dark." Then the tunnel ended in a circular room. In the center was a pool of perfectly still black water, and that's when the whispering started. It wasn't from one direction, it came from the walls, from the water, from inside our own heads. It was faint at first, chaotic murmurs of dozens of voices, then they began to separate. I heard my mom's voice clearly as day, calling, "Sweetie, come here, I need your help." But my mom was 2 states away visiting family. Jake went pale. That's my grandpa's voice. He stammered. His grandpa had passed away the year before. But Leo just stood there, the camcorder shaking in his hands. He whispered, "It's saying my name over and over." The voices grew more insistent, more pleading, then more angry. The air grew colder. The beam of my flashlight started to flicker, and in the dying light, I saw something move. Just beneath the surface of the dark pool, not a ripple, a shape, pale and far too large. "We have to go," I screamed, and the cave screamed back with a chorus of our own terrified voices, twisted and malicious. We turned and ran, scrambling back up the tunnel in the blind panic. The whispers became shrieks, clawing at our minds. I could feel cold, intangible fingers brushing my neck. I didn't look back, I just ran towards the distant pinprick of daylight. We burst out of the cave entrance, collapsing onto the forest floor, gasping and sobbing. The summer sun had never felt so good. It took us a full minute to realize Leo wasn't with us. We called his name, no answer. The cave mouth was silent and dark. We were too terrified to go back in. We just sat there crying until we saw movement. Leo stumbled out. He was pale, shivering, and his eyes were wide and blank. The camcorder was gone. He wouldn't speak. He just stared straight ahead. We half crawled him home. We made up a story about him falling and hitting his head. For a week, Leo was a zombie. He barely ate, didn't talk. Then he seemed slowly come back to himself, but he was different. Quieter, angrier. We never went back to those woods. We never talked about the cave. A year later, Leo's family moved away suddenly. We lost touch. Here's the thing that haunts me. Last year, I got a package in the mail with no return addresses. Inside was a single unlabeled VHS tape. I dug out my old player and watched it. It was the footage from Leo's dad's camcorder. It showed us running in terror up the tunnel, our faces twisted in fear. The starting part of the film was static, showed us this part. It showed me and Jake bursting out into the light. The camera dropped on the cave floor, pointing back the way we came. And there, in the darkness of the tunnel, just for a frame, you can see two figures standing where we left Leo. One was Leo standing limp, the other was taller, much taller, its arm around Leo's shoulder in a terrible parody of comfort. Its head was turned towards the camera, but it had no face, just a smooth, pale stone where features should be. The tape ended with a static, and then a message popped up on the screen: corrupt file. There was no note, but I know who sent it. And I know whatever came out of that cave with Leo that day, it's still with him, and it might be looking for the other two who got away. Thank you guys, this is the end of the video. Hope you liked the story, and if you have more stories like these of your own or real life, and just like this guy, if you can send a picture of or a video with it as well, that'd be great. I'll take the time out of my schedule and I'll read your stories and post them on this channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.